Hello and welcome to Solid Waste India. I'm Afreen Kadwai, the editor-in-chief of the website. We have with us Mr. Prabjot Sodhi. Mr. Sodhi is the Senior Program Director for the Center for Environment Education. He also recently retired as the head of circular economy at the UNDP. Welcome to Solid Waste India, sir.
Thank you, Afreen.
Now, the Niti Aayog recently released a handbook on plastic waste management in cities. It recommended that ULBs set up material recycling facilities. You, while at the UNDP, played a vital role in this conception of the whole idea. Could you please tell us a bit about it?
This book, which has come out on Niti Aayog and plastic waste management, is all about what we have done from 2016 onwards. We were the first in the country, practically, one of the first, that who started an integrated holistic program with three main functions. One was engagement at the city level. Second was to establish an integrated system from start to the end, where we involved a range of stakeholders, right from citizens to waste pickers, not calling them rack pickers, small aggregators, large aggregators, informal recyclers, registered recyclers, and the brand owners and the producers. We were involved with a range of stakeholders in this project. That was the beauty of it. And the third part was to create inclusivity of the so-called marginalized, less privileged, living on the peripheries, the Safai Sathis.
How do you think this will help the ULBs manage their waste better?
We feel that this book, which talks, is all about strategies. We came up in cities setting up pilots. The whole idea was we went into partnership with the ULBs saying that we are coming with small pilots for you. So we said that we will have decentralized MRF. It was really a difficult task. People were not understanding why do we want to have small MRFs when I'm having 600 tons of material waste flowing into me, dry waste, so-called. And we were normally coming up with our studies quickly in the cities. We did assessments of the waste. We found that about most of the cities, dry waste was becoming an integral part of the wet waste, of the whole waste system. And it was about 45 to 50% of the waste was dry waste, which included non-biodegradable waste, when I say dry. And we said, when we are saying waste to be handled at the source, then why not keep these small material recovery centers varying from 2,500 square feet area to about 10,000 square feet. And we said we will manage about 4 to 5 tons of plastic waste, which means about 10 tons to 12 tons of non-biodegradable waste, which includes paper, textile, glass, metal, many other. We would show them that we are segregating to 46 different fractions of waste. So it was not changing the form of the waste. So we were segregating them basically, and we were baling them or shredding them, and also air blowers. And we were having proper weighing machines there. We were introducing weigh bridges. We were introducing small people can come up, weighing scale, electronic weighing scale. So the whole idea of the MRF was to really give transparency and traceability of waste from the generation to the disposal, so that better traceability can result. We were doing manual, and then we were updating through the computerized system. And as I said you earlier, in this process, we were harnessing more than 100 to 200 people. We were paying the market price without any deductions on the spot, because people wanted on the spot. First, we came with cash payments. Then we later on systematized them by forming them into small self-help groups or informal groups, unregistered, and making them weekly payments and then fortnightly payments by opening their bank account, giving them health cards, creating insurances. This whole ecosystem developed a very great sustainability because it was all interlinked and it was all interdependent. So I think so that approach is what this book talks about.
What were some of the hurdles, Mr. Sodhi, that you faced while establishing these MRFs?
From the very beginning of the day, it was a struggle. And now it's not a struggle because we have set the systems of success. First was that the ULBs, we defined, this is our responsibility, this is your responsibility, that is the ULB. We have to equally do. And then we started entering into contracts with them. We said that you have to give us the space. We will not hire private spaces. You will have to give us the space in your city, and you will have to give us the shed also, given the guidelines by the MOHUA, the Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs. And you will also have to give us some machines. More than 50-60% gave the shed to us, made to design. They said, can you help us in designing those sheds? We immediately had our set of architects and our designers, and we gave them the sets. And therefore, you will see in many cities, the MRFs which we have made are of similar nature. Then the next big hurdle was selecting. There is a very big paucity of good waste management agencies who understand this as an integrated approach. So we had to pick agencies. It was more of a partnership. We were together in this whole process, and we were building them across while we were learning ourselves. So this was a big hurdle, developing the waste management agencies in the whole management systems of operations. There were no existing examples of MRFs. It was to what type of machines to go, with what productivity measures, with what wattage measures, with what outputs. That was whole a range of challenge about machinery and plants. And that we searched and finalized and got it to. The third major issue which we really had to combat was segregation. We were finding very difficult to get a segregated waste. We never faced a problem with the Safai Sathis, which many people say. That was not a problem. But of course, their process of engaging with them, their process of enhancing productivity was a challenge to begin with. And it's a slow process. People need to get in. So there was these sort of range of things. And then getting them legitimized with the ULBs was not also a big issue. The ULBs were coming forward to help us in giving them health cards, identity cards, insurances, medical camps. And that was fantastic. This all integrated approach encapsulated that what we had designed is really coming true to the faction.
So what advice would you have for the ULBs and the private partners while they set up these MRFs?
There has to be an agreement between the ULB and the waste management agency that this is how they will operate, so that they understand. Maybe 1 page, maybe 2 page. So that's one. Second is the ULBs have also to understand that this system requires establishing recovery centers. And they must come up with small recovery centers. It can vary from 5 to 25 tons and 50 tons. If the waste is 500 tons, then about 25 tons. The small centers will make sense. We can have 20 centers and we can make it localized within the area. So there is no transportation of waste going here and there. The biggest challenge which we came was on recyclers, finding the registered recyclers in the cities for various, because if we are segregating 46 fractions, then we have to go to different recyclers for different products. Pricing policies was a major challenge. These sort of things were certain deterrents to our partners as well. That's where we came to fund this whole process, that let's do it for 4-year period. In 4 years, we will establish the systems, and this will help us in increasing out the kinks, as they say. And the people will start earning a profitability, and people will start feeling the investment into this system.
Thank you so much, Mr. Sodhi, for speaking with Solid Waste India.
Thank you.